Hello, everyone. Good morning, good day. Depends on from where you are joining us today. And welcome to our third session of Dynamics Week at proMX. Today we have a technical deep dive in difference to the previous sessions that we had. And we will be talking a little bit more and about more topics. Today's session is slightly longer, so I hope that you took a nice cup of coffee or tea and are ready with us to make a deep dive. As I mentioned, today's session is a technical one. We will be talking about field service, Power Platform, and Copilot, and more specifically about the integration of Copilot into field service. And we will leave a couple of live demos that our experts have prepared for us. And about our experts, today we have with us a group of experts in different areas for Dynamics 365, which are Martin Hick, our AI consultant for Dynamics 365, Stephanie Schenk, who is a senior consultant for Dynamics 365 and R&D, Zachary Woods, who is a business transformation consultant for Dynamics 365, and Gabriela Ruhe, our technical consultant. So please welcome our experts for today, and we'll start with Stephanie. The stage is yours.
So hi everybody. So my name is Stephanie Schenk. I'm working for some time, 9 years for proMX. I work in the R&D and architecture team, and today I will show you some new feature which are in the November or December release of Dynamics 365. So hopefully you find that useful, and maybe you can need it for your further work. So Gabi, I think.
So I will introduce myself at first. So hello also from my side. My name is Gabriela Ruhe. I'm working as a technical consultant for proMX AG since September 2016. And my main areas of work are all kinds of customization for the Power Platform. Mostly I'm working with project operations and sales. And I'm also doing or working a lot with Power BI, mostly in a Dataverse context, but also with all kind of different external data sources.
Right, thank you. Yeah, so I will start, and then Gabi will take over. So these are the topics I will tell you something about today. So first topic is the OneGrid, which is, it has two names. It's OneGrid and Power Apps Grid, which is the same. And a very small announcement about role-based view is the second feature. So what is OneGrid or Power Apps Grid? So the Power Apps Grid Control has numerous functional and stylistic improvements that improve the out-of-the-box experience for users. So users can view and act on data more efficiently with new grid features in model-driven apps. The features allow you to group and aggregate data, reorder columns, set column width, and complete other tasks with ease. So it is maybe some of you already know the editable grid, so it's kind of similar to that, but this has more functions and is more sophisticated. So there's one new feature is grouping and aggregation. So when you use the Power Apps Grid Control, you can group the data based on a single column. So it's not possible for all of the columns, but if the column type is can be grouped, there's a menu and you can group your data by that type. So groups are collapsed by default, but users can expand and recollapse groups as desired. This functionality is available regardless of whether the grid is configured to be read-only or editable. Yeah, so the Power Apps grid can either be editable or not, as you need it for your demands. Additionally, users can aggregate one or more numeric columns in the grid. So that is a really nice feature. For each column, which is applicable, user can choose to see either the sum or the minimum value, the maximum value, or an average of the value from that column. So if grouping has been applied, this aggregate value will also be displayed for each group. So these capabilities are turned on by default for entities that are configured to use the read-only grid component and for the pipeline view. So for other instances, it must be manually configured. So you need to opt into this behavior using the enable grouping and enable aggregation settings. So that is when you configure the grid, you have to turn on that settings. User can group and aggregate columns through the column headers, and options appear only on the column types that suppose these operations. So mostly that are numbers or money fields that can be aggregated. So another feature is the allow column reordering property control. So where the user can reorder columns from directly within the grid. So this includes the ability to drag and drop column headers or use the move left and right actions from the column header drop-down menu. So you can really have then your own view and reorder the columns as you like to see them. So the list mode of the Power Apps grid control has been updated to align with Fluent styling with changes to font weight and font size to differentiate the importance of each field in the list. So sorting supported in list mode. So on the right screenshot, you see a view in list mode. When users are using the Power Apps grid control in list mode, users see a new header row at the top of the list containing a sort icon. Selecting this icon opens a sort menu that allows the user to choose the sort column and the sort direction. So this option is suppressed if the grid doesn't allow column sorting, which is also a property you can turn off or on. Another thing, command bar for nested grids. So I will show later in a little live demonstration, but here you can see you have a nested grid, which means you have columns from two tables, a parent and a child, and the child is nested. The Power Apps grid control with configured nested grids now displays the correct command bar when a row in the nested grid is selected. So when you select that row, you see in the command bar on the top the menu for that row. Column width can be set to a specific value. You can now set the column width to a specific pixel value from the column options. So this allows column width to be set by keyboard only. Option to select all records with infinite scroll. So there is an option to turn on infinite scroll. The option to select all records will be available by default on all modern grids. When using this option with infinite scroll, a maximum of 100 records will be selected. So if you don't want to have infinite scroll, you can turn this feature off, or this property off, and then you will enable paging. There's a possibility for option sets so that you can assign a specific color to a value. And those option set colors now can be shown in the grid. So as you see there in the category column. Yeah, there's kind of a lookup functionality within the grid. So when you have the script editable and you want to find, for this case, the user a record should be assigned to, you can just type into the grid and then you will get kind of a lookup list with the users from the system. Yeah. So that's the presentation for the grid, and I would like to show you how it looks like in a Dynamics environment now. So I will share my screen. That is a little demonstration environment, and you can see now here the customers. So you have here the list view of the customers, and this list view is now configured with an editable Power Apps grid. You can see here the account name, the industry with the color of the industry option set. It is editable, so you can type in the main phone number if you like here, and it is saved. Yeah, so you don't have to open up the record. You can also change the city, so they moved maybe to Liverpool. You just can type it in there. Yeah, you can see the link to the contact record here. You have a two option field which you can also set. Yeah. You have here a money field, and now let's have a look what we can do. Maybe we could choose a summary for the credit limit field. We can show the total, and then you can see here at the bottom the sum of all the rows. We could also change that to a minimum value, maximum value, or to the average. We can change the order of the fields easily by dragging and dropping. We can change the column width. Here. And as you see, it is already grouped by the account name, and here are the groups. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Nice little effect when we show something. Okay. We can just open it up, and we have here a list of all projects for each account. So Contoso have 3 projects, AdventureWorks only 1. And this is the nested grid. And you see here again the color of the option set. So this has different colors. You can do similar things like here. You can do a sorting, or you can change by dragging and dropping, or change the column width if you like to. So that is the nested grid. I have also prepared it without a nested grid. So let's have a look at the projects. So that is also in Power Apps Grid, but it is not grouped. It's just a list. You see, we can here change it to a list view. And then you can see here the options of sorting. So at the moment it is sorted by name, but we can also sort by effort maybe and say highest on top or lowest on top. Yeah, and then you have here the sorting possibilities. All right. So just a little demonstration about the Power Apps Grid new feature. Maybe we can just as a switch back to the customers. Yeah, so it is a nice feature. You can have some layout changes, make it a little color, having more colors for your customer and giving them the experience to edit directly in the grid if needed. Role-based views. So this is a really quite a new feature. Unfortunately, I cannot show you in a demonstration, but role-based views. Using role-based views simplifies the usability of a business line app when multiple users with different needs are introduced. So for example, team leads or supervisors working on the case table have different system views need than a case service representative. So standard system views like my cases and my case close today just create clutter for the supervisors. So multiple apps are being created for a cleaner experience. So this is how you solve that at the moment. You have different apps for different persons. You show the views only in the apps, but because at the moment it is not possible, or it was not possible to show views only for specific security roles. Yeah. So currently when a user are on a table form, such as an account form, a list of system views is automatically displayed from which a user can choose. Often this list views is overwhelming and long because you need to add all the views for all the people that use the app to the app, and then everybody sees all views, and that can be too much. Most of the views aren't relevant to users. Makers and admins don't have the ability to select the views that are applicable to their target users by security role. So, but with that new feature, admins can select the appropriate system views for their respective users by security role. Users with the selected security roles can see the system views that were shared with their specific security role. And this feature is announced for December, and I think that's really a really cool thing, because at the moment you don't really have to the possibility to divide who can see the view. You have to set up different apps, and that is really a lot of work. So I'm looking forward to that feature and think that will make the system more smooth for everybody. All right, so that's from my side. Are there any questions regarding the Power Apps Grid?
Let me check in the chat. So at the moment I don't have any questions in the chat, but I do have a question for you. So you have showed the OneGrid as a list view. Is it possible to replace a subgrid on a form by a OneGrid component?
Yeah, I just showed the list view, that's true, but you can also, if you have a subgrid on the form, like maybe you have, imagine you have an account form and have all the cases that belong to that account on a subgrid on the account form, you can use the OneGrid also for that subgrid. So you can replace the standard subgrid by the Power Apps grid component, and then you will have the same functionality as shown in that list views on a form view or on a form subgrid.
These are good news. It's getting much more practical.
Yeah, and I think it also, the look and feel is a little nicer.
So true. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Then I hand over to Gabi.
So yeah, here we are now. So yeah, this is my agenda. I hope you can see it now. Okay, fine. Yeah. This is the agenda, what I was talking about. Yeah, these are the 5 points. We take a quick look today. Yeah, let's start with the first feature, the recycle bin. Be aware that this feature is still in preview, so the general availability will be in January 2025. Yeah, and with this feature, you are now able to restore single records which you are deleted, and you're able to restoring data for up to 30 days. And I think this is a really great feature. I think we all know some cases in which we delete data by mistake, and the only opportunity was until today that we have to do a full backup, and this takes a very long time and can be, of course, lead to further problems. And with this feature, you don't will have this problem anymore. Yeah, important to mention is here, not all tables are supported. Virtual tables are not supported with this feature. If you never have heard about virtual tables, they are external data sources, for example, an Azure SQL database, which you can put in your Dataverse. So I will talk about this later a bit more. Yeah, then it's not possible to use this feature with tables that store solution components. So yeah, all the data in Dataverse which is needed can't be used here, and it's not supported with elastic tables. If you never have heard about elastic tables, these are special tables which are used for a huge amount of data and need real-time interaction with this huge amount of data, just in case someone of you is using that. Yeah, and where you can see the data you deleted, just go to your settings and in data management, and if you have enabled this feature, you will see, like here in the screenshots, your deleted records. Yeah. So with this feature, it's really important to mention that records that were deleted through automated cascading behaviors can be restored independently. So here in the screenshot, I prepared a relationship. This is a relationship maybe someone of you is using. It's from account to account, 1 to n. So if you have a parent account, this parent account have maybe many child accounts. The type of the behavior is here parental, so that would mean if you deleting your parent account, all your child accounts would be deleted as well. And yeah, you can, and if you later want to bring back your child accounts, it's not working to just bring this child accounts back. First of all, you have to restore your parent account, and then later you can bring back this child accounts. So this is a behavior we have to think about always with this restore functionality. Yeah, this is recycle bin. You can already test it, and yeah, like I said, in January it will be available for everyone. So next topic is to associate email activities with multiple related records. So at moment or before it was just possible to associate an email record or our email activity just with one another record, and now you have the possibility with this new field, which you can see here in the screen, the related field, to associate this email record really with more than one other table. So you can see this new related field is from type party list. I think you know this kind of field already. You can see here fields which you probably know, like to and from and cc, are also from the type party list. And yeah, that means you can associate more tables in this email record. So, and what is the big advantage to associate an email with more than one record? The big advantage is here you can now have this email record in more than one timeline. So maybe if you have a lead and you want to associate this email with a lead, but also associate it with a contact, which is in relationship to this lead, you can now show this email really in these two timelines, and it's not more just restricted to have it in one timeline. I think this is a great feature, and yeah, we can hope this feature is coming also for more activity tables. I think it's planned that it will come also for activity tables like a phone call, task, and yeah, but I don't have any dates, or yeah, I can tell you when this is coming, but you can use it now with emails. Another important thing to mention is here, when you would like to use this related field to associate your email with more than one table, you have to make sure that this option is enabled. You can have a contact email. Yeah, this is the only restriction. If you have a table like accounts or leads or opportunities have this enabled, you can use it. Okay, done. We go to the next feature, which is select records faster with lookup controls. So this is really fast explained, and yeah, it's how it says here, press directly enter to select the first value on the drop-down menu instead of having to navigate to that item with the keyboard. So it's just a faster selection. If you, for example, here in the screenshot we see AdventureWorks, if you type down an A and D and press enter, AdventureWorks will just select it and you don't have to click with your mouse. So this is maybe not very special for some people here, but yeah, it's just, it's maybe great for people who prefer to work more with the keyboard and don't like it to click so much in their dynamic system. Okay. Next topic is the new environment settings app. So our setting area is now available as a model-driven app. I will show you how this looks like. Be aware this feature is also still in preview, and you can find this preview like all the other features which are still in preview on your Power Platform Admin Center. And yeah, at the moment I think it's really still in preview, so not everything is working right now. I found also some translation mistakes, so yeah, we probably have to wait to the general availability, which is also in January 2025. And yeah, I also wrote you down here the German name if you're using a German system. And yeah, let's see how this looks like. I'm switching to system. So, and this is the settings area, which you should probably know. Yeah, we have our old interface with all the interactions in our settings here at the top. And yeah, it's just using the old web client. And if you have already enabled this feature, then you will see this interface. So it looks like the apps which you should be familiar with. It's actually the same like the older version, it's just a new interface. So if you see, if we compare it, maybe if we're clicking here, for example, on the currencies, this interface is opening, and if we are clicking here as well on the currencies down here, just with the new interface, it's looking nicer, smarter, and yeah, just for your information that the all web interface is then not available anymore, and you're coming to the settings as you're used to coming here over our setting button, the advanced settings. This is exactly the same way you're coming to your settings. Okay. That was the demo. Okay, done. This is the last feature I would like to show you. This is the feature that we are now able to create relationships for virtual and native tables. We are now able to create relationships between local tables and Dataverse in virtual tables or virtual tables and other virtual tables from the same provider, like SQL and SQL. If you're not familiar with virtual tables, these are custom tables in Dataverse which contain data from external data sources, e.g. an Azure SQL, and native tables are just the tables you are used to work with every day, like accounts and contacts and so on. And yeah, if you have maybe an Azure SQL and there's a table which you think about and think, oh, when I have this table in my Dataverse, this would really help me to improve my business, to have it in my dynamic system, then this is maybe an interesting feature for you to look at. Yeah, and it was not possible before to do relationships between these virtual tables and native Dataverse tables, and now you're able to do relationships, creating lookup fields between all these different kind of tables, and of course you can have now more complex interactions and really work more for your business needs with this new feature. Okay, that's from my side. Do you have any questions?
Let's check the chat. Thank you so much, Gabriela, for your part of the session and for the deep dive on these new functionalities. Also looks very practical. I don't see any questions in the chat. Also, in case there are any questions in the public, in the audience, please raise your hand. All right. Then, as always, I have a question for you, Gabriela. We were discussing the associated emails activities with multiple related records. We know that there was there is a new related field. Does it replace the old field, which is regarding, which associated also the email records before?
No, it's not replacing that field. The regarding field is still available, and this new related field is just a new addition, so you can use both fields. You just have in mind, if you want to use this related field, you have to put it on the form. It's not there by default, and yeah, you can still use the regarding field, and yeah, it's still available.
Okay, thank you for covering that. Then I don't see additional questions for the moment. In this case, I would like to thank once more Gabriela and Stephanie for their part of the presentation. And we will continue now with Martin and Zach, who will talk a little bit more about field service and Copilot. So please welcome to the stage our additional two experts.
All right, thanks, Katarina. Thanks, Steffi, and thanks, Gabby. I think we're going to start things off similar to how they did. We're just going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name's Zach Woods. I am a business consultant here at proMX. I've been in the consulting in the Microsoft Business Application space for the better part of a decade now, supporting small and enterprise-level clients from all types of sectors, branches, but lately I've recently developed a focus around service-oriented and project-oriented companies. So, and I really think that getting that last 5%, getting that last 10%, the maximum value is about the integration between Dynamics 365 and Microsoft 365. So that's what we're going to show you today, but I'm going to hand off really quickly to my colleague Martin to introduce himself.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. My name is Martin Hick. I'm the AI consultant for proMX. I'm working since like 8 months, I think now, but I've been working with AI and as a data scientist before, so I have like a couple of years, like 5 years experience in the field as well. And I'm going to be talking about the extensibility of Copilot in Microsoft with field service touch to it, kind of. So, but first let's hear it from Zach, I guess.
I appreciate it. All right, I'm hoping everybody can see my slides and it's not frozen. Yeah, so once again, welcome to this Dynamics Week session. We're going to dive into D365 Field Service, how it integrates with Microsoft 365 productivity tools, so talking Outlook, Teams, and we're going to talk a little bit about Copilot for those AI-driven insights and how we can use it to enhance the work order management. So bear with me. We're probably going to be jumping between browsers, desktop applications. So bear with me here, and we're also dealing with preview features here. So we've already done some preparations to prepare for some demo data, but we will definitely do some live demos here at the end. Okay, already introduce ourselves. So pretty much at this point, I'm going to begin by sharing kind of the shifts I see in field service, in particular for the agenda. But first, we're going to start here. Excuse me. We're going to walk through an example scenario here as it's listed. We're going to demonstrate how frontline managers and technicians can work efficiently and collaboratively, and we're going to go through a use case. But first, let's talk about the AI shift in field service. So although the demo is going to focus around the experience for service managers and technicians, I'd like to kind of take a moment to shed some light on some current trends emerging in field service that I see, and it's definitely supported in how Microsoft is approaching the improvement of the product. So from a customer perspective, we want to have them receive proactive service updates. So how we can do that is through a field service portal that is a standard out-of-the-box feature. And we also want to empower them through self-service AI. So we want to offer them things like chatbots, AI-driven self-service portals again, and those things are also available to us with the Power Platform, things like those chatbots. But we also want to receive personalized messages, and they also want to receive personalized experiences. Excuse me. So service interactions should always be tailored to their history. So we should always be able to look back and see a history of all of the service work orders, their preferences, and any type of service level agreement. So when we're talking customers, lastly, they prefer direct technician communication. So they want the option to interact with assigned technicians. They want to know who's coming to fix it, and they want to know how they can contact them. So looking from a technician's perspective, what we're seeing is they need to be able to resolve issues faster. We're all working with shortages in all branches and sectors, resource shortages. So sometimes we're talking junior level technicians working on things. So we want to give them the tools that they can resolve issues faster. And Copilot is one of those tools that that we can utilize to help them achieve that outcome faster. So we're also used to modern experiences, so offering them things like Teams for collaborations to allow them real-time communication with managers and peers to resolve complex issues in real time. Switching to the perspective of a field service manager, they need to be able to optimize scheduling, so they need to be able to automate technician assignments based on location and skills fast. It can't take forever to find the right person for the right job. They need to be able to monitor progress in real time. So how can they review work orders status fast in the tools they're using on a daily basis? So that means without switching between tools. They need to be able to make data-driven decisions. So using AI, using Copilot, we can allocate resources, we can identify trends, and therefore improve efficiency. So going quickly here, the service leader, so from their perspective, their main priority is to drive operational efficiency. And that means automating repetitive tasks like work order creation and status updates to reduce the overhead. So, and also there, as far as resource and scheduling allocation, they need to be able to manage higher volumes. So again, we're working with higher volumes of customer requests, but limited resources. So the name of the game is to outsource what we can, automate what we can. I'm hoping that the slides are not frozen. So I like to quickly show this diagram, and I show it often. Excuse me. So for those of you who are familiar with field service, not going to be a lot of new information on this slide. You already know the basics, and we're not going to deep dive in any real area of these key capabilities in particular. But I want to give some background what field service is designed to for those who are not familiar with it. So basically, it's designed to manage all aspects of your work order lifecycle, right from initial creation, scheduling, and technician management. So Microsoft 365 productivity tools, like Outlook and Teams, extend the capabilities. And that's what it's all about today, showing how frontline workers and managers can use those to extend the capabilities of field service. Okay. Last slide before I go into the live demo, I promise. Basically, just a visual representation of the general journey for today. We're going to show an incoming service request through Outlook. Very common to receive an email with a customer request, and how we can use the Dynamics 365 Field Service Outlook add-in. It's a mouthful there. Then we're moving on to also staying in the service manager, the manager perspective. We're going to see how Teams can be used with the Field Service Teams app to manage the lifecycle, to resource that open work order. Then we're switching hats here from the perspective of a technician and how we can use the Field Service mobile app to get the quickest updates, summarize the work order quickly with the use of Copilot directly on the booking form, and then moving on towards completion, which my colleague Martin will take over, and we'll talk about how we can generate reports on our data using Copilot. And of course, at the end, we'll have some time left for questions. So bear with me. I'm just going to switch. to my, I hope everybody can see my Outlook here. And anybody who knows doing live demos, one is treading in dangerous waters if you don't prepare anything. So I've already pulled up an email from a service request from a customer, fictitious of course. His name is George Watson. He's the building manager of Downtown Plaza, and he wants to inform us about the air conditioning breakdown in the building. So with our field service integration for Outlook, we can open it up. We can have the plugin scan the email for text and give us suggestions on basically what how we want to handle the incoming service request. And as you see, had I not prepared, oh yeah, it's there now. So basically, we have a couple options here. We can use Copilot to create a work order from the email. It's scanning through email, seeing who the sender is, it's really reading the text and saying what are they referring to. It's already recognizing that this may be an emergency. It's already recognizing the service account and the incident type, as well as the reported by contact and the primary customer incident asset, So it has already, and also it's generated a summary. So it's already telling us a lot about what we need to know. In this case, we would just need to assign a work order type. Again, I'm not going to go into exactly what that means, the difference between work order and incident, but let's just say there may be one or two fields that we have to additionally fill out. But for the most part, it's already, wasn't paying attention. It's already pulling up a lot of the important information. So basically, we're just going to create this, but I have already created some in the background, so we're just going to let that work. And we're going to hop over to, okay, create successful. Okay, so, and then we're going to hop over to our Dynamics environment to view the work order just created. And I hope everybody can see and my screen is not frozen. So let's talk a little bit about here and time check, 4:52. How much time do I got, Martin? Are we good?
I think we're good. Yeah.
Okay. Feel free to
a little bit.
All right. I'm gonna move through it quick now. So so basically what we have here, just really briefly, I want to show some integrations from Teams. I want to discuss some interesting use cases I've seen here and where the real business value comes in. So we've created the work order. We have the list here. And basically what we can do is we can connect a work order with a Teams chat. So basically we have the opportunity to chat interactively with colleagues within the context of a work order. And see, as you see here, I've already started a chat on the work order with Martin, and this really does open a Teams chat within Teams, or Teams channel, where I can also furthermore pull up data records directly from Dynamics. So I can pull up accounts, I can pull up leads, and we can chat over data directly within Teams, or vice versa. Within Dynamics 365, we can chat with colleagues, ad hoc conversations, or conversations within the context of a work order directly here in Teams. So once we connect this to a chat or with a channel, one really game-changing thing that I see a lot of organizations taking advantage of. I have not connected that one. Let me go on the one that I've already prepared. So this is a work order that we've connected. We see it's connected, but basically when we connect a data record to a Teams chat, okay, now it's telling me relog isn't required. So that's great. What I wanted to show is that we actually connect this on a SharePoint level, and they share a folder. So we have the channel. Any documents we put in the Teams channel will be shown here in Dynamics and vice versa. So that's the common base. That is the central document document management solution, just connecting data records to Teams, and then you're sharing the SharePoint location right there. Oh, well, as things go. So again, we have our work order, and now I'm going to shoot back to Teams, and I'm going to show you the field service integration. So now switching hats again from a field service manager perspective, I've created the work order. Now, up until now, we've always thought, okay, you can schedule work orders on the scheduling board within Dynamics, but now we have the option to schedule here directly within within Teams. So with the Teams field service app, we can take we can view already scheduled work orders, of course. We can move those bookings around. So we're getting the functionality that we've generally only had within Dynamics, and we now have that within Teams. So we can view the schedule. We can say, okay, well actually, the customer is requesting a different time, so we're going to move this to a different time slot. So again, we've already scheduled things. If I wanted to, I could come in here and I could say, I can say, all right, there are some suggested actions. If I click on schedule, it's going to give me a list of all of the resources that would be available to take on that work order. And this is a preview feature, and I have experienced some issues with it. If anybody's interested, I've done quite some work with it, so that's why I have prepared certain things prior to this demo. Again, we're working with preview features. They will be eventually general availability, but most of these features we're discussing, especially the field service app, is not yet ready for production use. So again, as from the field service, and then also as a field service technician, once I get my work order, I'm just showing you the desktop version, but this is also a similar experience in the mobile app. I am now in the field service mobile app. As a technician, I can now see my scheduled work order. We see I have a work order scheduled for today. Oh, should have been there this morning, kind of late. But I can still generate a Copilot preview of what exactly this work order is about, right? If I'm running around all day and I need to get a quick update, what is this work order actually about? I can do that directly from within my field service mobile app. So I can generate a summary, and basically this is going to generate, you can manage what fields you're pulling this data from, but at the end of the day, this is definitely there for a massive time reduction tool for the technician to get a good idea of what work is to be done. Again, I'm not going to go, this is not a deep dive into the bookable resource experience, but of course we have within the field service mobile app the opportunity to take off tasks, and of course anything that is required to complete the work order. So I'm just going to complete it or put it in the complete state, and I'm going to switch hats again. And I believe when we're talking about field service in the context of Copilot, I think that is all I have at the moment. I'm going to hand off to Martin at this point to kind of go in now after a work order has been completed, or as a field service technician asking for information about my work order, from that perspective, how that looks on the field service Copilot side. So Martin, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Zach. Speaking about preview features in Teams, I guess I'll take over from here and just jump in directly into the demo, so we save some time also. So Microsoft is trying with like the Microsoft 360 Copilot, trying to take away all those steps you need to take to go into field service like Dynamics and go everywhere there and do all the stuff over there and then go back to Teams, talk to there, and like maybe go to Outlook and everything. Microsoft is trying to do everything in Teams, so you can actually just stay in Teams and do everything from there. So they implemented now an extension for the Microsoft 365 Copilot for field service as well, and I can just activate it under under my extensions in my Copilot. I just go to Dynamics Field Service, and then I select the environment I want to check. So we stay in the same environment that Zach already showed us before. And now it's connected to our Dynamics 365 Field Service and to our environment, and we can ask it questions about work orders we have in there, get some summaries and all this kind of stuff. So this feature is aimed towards frontline managers and frontline workers who are actually just like trying to get information about work orders and everything, and that's what's in there so far, is getting summaries and getting informations about work orders straight in Teams. So I could ask simple questions. So give me the type of work order. Let's stay with Zach's work order. So we had 27. And I should get Copilot is going to field service, looking at in field service, looking through the work orders, and then hopefully coming back with like what type of work order this is. Let's see, sometimes it has difficulties, but no, we're at air conditioning. That's what Zach showed us earlier. But obviously I don't want to go through every step, like manually go type and then address and whatever. I can get me a whole summary of the whole thing. And since typing in demos is quite a hassle sometimes, I also have these prompts that I can save for favorites and later just insert again. So if I have something that is reoccurring every time, I can just save me prompts here if it's big prompts, and then just adjust them as I want to. So I saved this prompt earlier. Now I have just to change my work order number. So let's say we're staying with work order 27, and I can send this to the Copilot, and I am asking him here for giving me a whole summary about the work order, like giving me some details about the work order itself, and then also providing me with some tasks that are related to the work order. And so as like a frontline manager, if I go somewhere for a certain work order, I can already get me the details for this work order, and then it will give me some basic information. As I said, this is like what I asked for, kind of give me the summary we saw earlier also, and give me then a list of the tasks that are in there. The duration I found testing it now is, so the task table in general is sometimes a bit experimental still. It's still preview, so I guess there have to be some small changes to be done. Sometimes you get a duration there, sometimes you might not. At least it's then like not specified, and you have to go in there. So yeah, this is kind of a quick overview you get over the work order as field worker. You could also ask different other questions, like let's say you want to see what resources booked on this work order, then I can ask us this. Let's see what the Copilot replies for this. Let's see. This is the beauty of live demos with Copilot. Sometimes you never know what's coming out of there. But yeah, we see Zach is booked for this resource, and now you can see all those references that is given me here below. Those are references to where the actual information for the response is taken from. So I could just go here and it would take me directly to my work order right here. So if I click on this, I would be directed to the work order and can now work in Dynamics if I have to make any changes there, or if I want to have any other things and look up any other things. So yeah, this. Then we have it from a different perspective as well. Let's say we are a frontline manager. who wants to just have an overview over all the work orders that are scheduled. So I can say, schedule me work order, show me all the scheduled work orders already, give it to me in a nice table format, and then I want to see like the high priorities first and the lowest priorities afterwards. So I can just go in there, and then Copilot would provide me with the information. There should be now, I guess, 3 work orders or 2. Okay, so this is sometimes you might have to adjust. We have 2 work orders with priorities and 1 which has been assigned a priority. So sometimes this is just not shown here. But we have an emergency priority and a high priority, which was our work order before. And now we can look into our work order which with like an emergency, and we've seen the summary before, which was like really structured, but we can also have just like a small paragraph with it, which is just summarizing the whole thing. So we ask it to summarize for the details in just a small paragraph, and then it gives you some information. And this is what I meant before. I can see this is not the right answer it gives me because it's based on different solutions or like sources that I would expect. So normally we would have some field service source back here, but now I see, oh, it's based it on some other documents that are not in here. So let me just check if we can get rid of this. Sometimes it helps if we just go on with it again, and let's try it one more time. So yeah, in the background, Copilot, I'll go through this in like 1 or 2 seconds, how it works. But in the background, it kind of searches for documents and like information based on my prompt. And apparently it was looking through some PDF files and saw something in there that could relate to this. So it thought it would be a good idea to base it on there as well. But let's hope this time it's going to give me the right thing from field service. If it actually generates something. If not, we're jumping over. Let's give it 2 or 3 more seconds. Okay, yeah, maybe. It's getting there. Yes. 1, 3, 2, 1. So yeah, what it does is taking my prompt and then analyzing it first, going through all the documents I have and all the systems I have given it access to, and trying to find information. And from there on, going through like an LLM and generating my response. So I guess this is not giving me a good response right now. So we go in something I already prepared, maybe now. Let's wait for 1 more second. Looks good, looks not good. Okay, let's jump over. So I prepared, if it's loading up. Yeah. So what you can see here is that it's the same thing I said before. It generates me like a small paragraph where it's just summarizing the main information about the whole work order in just a paragraph. Like depending on what you're really interested in, how you want it to look, you can get different results, I guess. And then one new feature Microsoft added now, which is also in preview, so you have to handle it with care right now, is I can actually ask a frontline worker or manager can ask Copilot to give me some suggestions on how to fix some issues. So let's say in the issue there was like some problem with an overflowing wastewater tank, and then I can ask Copilot, please search through the documents and find me like how can I repair this, how can I resolve this issue, and it actually goes if there's any knowledge articles related to the work order, or if I have any knowledge articles in my service, dynamic service, which is related to this topic, it would go through this as well and search for information, how it could help, and give you some information back to there. So we can see if we go to, let me just quickly check this here. If we go here into our knowledge articles and see the knowledge article here, we would hopefully, yeah, have some wastewater tank knowledge articles, and there is what Copilot took. It took like visual inspection, functionally check, adjustments, testing, and troubleshooting from there, and just used it for our answer. And so yeah, this is what you can do. You can ask a lot of questions about the work orders around all kinds of stuff that is saved in Dynamics. And basically for now, it's a tool to get information quick in Teams without having to go into the Dynamics system somewhere else. So let's go back to our presentation. And I have 2 more slides for the architecture, something I already discussed in a little bit. Here you can see how the Microsoft Copilot for 365 is structured. So what I said, you give Copilot a prompt, it's going to go back to the Microsoft Graph where all your files, emails, and data is lying, and also goes to all the 3 sources that are connected to it. So we connected field service, for example, and you can also do web searches if you want. You can turn this on and off if you liked. And it's going there, searches for some information that may be connected to there, sends all this information to a large language model, which is then producing based on the information and the prompt producing an answer. And this answer, after post-processing it with the data, goes back to the user. What is important for this is maybe that everything here is protected by the Microsoft service boundary. So Microsoft makes sure that all your data stays within your company and also stays within regional restrictions that we have maybe for GDPR or EU data boundaries. So it makes sure that it doesn't leave these areas to make it compliant with all those regulations. It also doesn't use any of the data you're using, like any company data, to train new models. So you don't have to be afraid that some information is getting out there, like some company information is getting out there to be trained with new models. And it is also making sure that all the information that is getting back that you get back from Copilot is actually nothing that is harmful in any ways, in like violation or any other harmful information. In terms of security inside the organization, it is also restricted, like the things the user can see is restricted to what the user actually can see in the organization. So if the user doesn't have access to any files or folders or whatever in anywhere in the Dynamics system or Microsoft system, then Copilot will not give an answer for these files or whatever information there is. So you are sure that the user can just ask Copilot questions about stuff he could otherwise like search for in the organization himself. And then last thing, I already discussed this. I was not sure if it was working in the presentation because it just recently got added, is what I already told you. Now you can actually get some suggestions and informations for how to fix stuff for your work orders directly in Copilot as well. So you get some grounded information about how to approach any issues that are coming through any work orders. So I guess we're through the Microsoft Copilot in Teams. here, and we're looking forward for some questions.
Thank you so much, Martin. Thank you so much, Zach, for covering this part of the session about field service and Copilot integration. And we do have one question in the chat from Simon. This is going back to the part of Zach, I believe. Are there backups for the files? Sorry, Zach, you're muted.
Zach, you're muted.
Sorry about that. I assume you're referring to the files being synchronized to SharePoint, correct?
Yeah.
So they're backed up as far as SharePoint files are backed up, right? So I mean, there's no extra backup mechanism. Excuse me, my phones are ringing off here. There's no backup mechanism in particular there. It's just pretty much a window into SharePoint. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, it does.
Great.
Thank you so much from Simon as well for covering the question. And in case you have additional questions, please raise your hand. In the meantime, I will use this 1 minute more to ask a couple of questions more. Zach, question to you. About the using Copilot in field service for Outlook as well. What are the limitations of the feature? How can users minimize the impact of the Outlook work order creation limitations when using the feature?
Yeah, it's a good question. There are a couple limitations. One being, since it is in preview at the current moment, that you can't customize the form that's available yet. I assume that will come in some wave release. There's also a limitation on the number of characters you can have in the summary. So that's just something to consider once you're creating those emails, those work orders from the emails. But other than that, again, it's a preview feature, so they're continuously upgrading it and updating it. So a lot of those limitations may fall away.
Mm-hmm. Understood. Thank you so much. And last but not least, also one question for Martin from my side. Martin, about the field service extensions. We saw what kind of information it provides. Can it provide also information about accounts, resources, or cases?
Good question. So far, it's only available for work orders in terms of field service, but I guess like in the pace, Microsoft is putting out new features and new Copilot stuff every other week, actually. I guess it's coming soon, but so far it's only for work orders for the moment.
As we have seen so many things coming up. Okay.
I guess, yeah.
Oh, wait a second. Then I don't see any additional questions in the chat. But if you have any further questions, please contact our experts, Stephanie, Gabriela, Zachary, Martin. We are leaving their details in the chat, so you can contact them and connect in LinkedIn. And if you have any further questions or questions about your business project, please contact us as well at look@proMX.net. And before finalizing the sessions completely, please, Martin, move to the next slide. Yes, exactly. I wanted to remind you about the upcoming sessions that we will have for the next 2 days. We still have 3 sessions to go, so almost the half of our Dynamics week. And tomorrow we'll be talking about mastering project portfolio management, and we will be diving a little bit on the project portfolio management tool developed by proMX. So don't miss it up. And afterwards we have additional session on additional add-ons that you can add to project operations to, again, enhance your project management. And last but not least, updates on project operations, roadmap, and more on Friday. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for our speakers and staying with us today. And I'm wishing you a great day, evening. See you around, team. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.